Nobody believed in me when I first started my trading journey, and honestly, I get it. It's lonely, it's exhausting, and it breaks you down before it ever builds you up. And honestly, this is the part of trading that nobody tells you about, and this is the part of trading that no one prepares you for. It's a battle, it's a grind, emotionally, physically, spiritually, honestly, every single level. The part where you're constantly losing, constantly grinding, and seeing very minimal results. This is the hardest part in our journey. So if you're in this place right now, I promise you, you are not alone. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you kind of my journey, how it all started, how I overcame everything, and how you can too. So this week, one of my students was talking in the community about something that really brought me down memory lane. And I'm sure a lot of you watching this video are going to relate to this. It's probably going to hit home. George in my group was talking about how he recently was sharing with his parents that he was learning how to trade. And they had nothing positive to say. They said it was a scam. They said he wasn't going to succeed at it. And it's just crazy because this is the exact same thing that I got. This is the same response that I got from my parents when I first started trading. And honestly, it just threw me back and made me really grateful for where I am today because of all the stuff I went through that I haven't thought about in a long time. If you're watching this video right now, I'm sure along your journey, maybe you're where I am now and you're a consistent profitable trader, or maybe you're just starting out, maybe you're at the break-even phase, I'm not too sure. But I guarantee you, most of the people watching this video have gone through a similar thing where they told people they were learning how to trade and they got laughed at. And that's literally what happened to me. I had people around me, I had friends at the time that, I still remember this text. I still remember this. Someone said to me, "Mac, did you lose all your money yet?" That was the response. They knew I was waking up at London. They knew I was slaving away on the charts, just doing everything I possibly could. And they hit me with the, "Mac, did you lose all your money yet?" And I remember that to this day. And it's crazy how those moments of, getting laughed at, the moments of getting doubted, are really what make or break you as a trader. Really what make you, make or break you. Because if you are maybe someone who isn't as confident in yourself as you should be with your journey, then you are ultimately going to give up when you get that, resistance, and then you're hearing from other people that you should also give up to. I think you all should use it as fuel and use that negative fuel to your advantage. Negative fuel is very potent. It's very powerful. Eventually, I would like you to start betting on yourself and doing it for you, but nothing gets you going like trying to prove other people wrong. And it was just awesome to kind of relate back to that. And what I shared with George is at the very beginning, they're all going to laugh at you, right? They're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to say what you're doing is silly. But then once they see you succeeding at it, they start to ask you to teach them how. And that's exactly what happened to me. All the people who laughed at me when I first started trading were the ones reaching out on DMs, begging me to teach them how and telling their friends about it. And it's just very funny how humans work, how this happens. So not only is this part of your journey going to be very lonely, the lonely chapter, where you are starting out, it's just you in front of that computer. You're losing. Maybe you have a win, right? But then we're going to get to the amount of sacrifices it's going to take for you to get to the success that you want in trading. You have to overcome being lonely. You have to overcome all the doubt from other people. And you just have to focus in on what you have to do. I used to say this saying, "The vision is mine, so how can you see?" And I love that because these outside people don't know our vision, don't know what we want to achieve. It's in our minds, right? It's in our minds, and we know what we have to do to get there. Maybe not exactly what to do, but we know the vehicle we want to use to get to where we want to be, and that is trading. Trading is a great vehicle that allows us to, not only work for ourselves, but also have that time freedom, have that location freedom. You can go travel, you can go do all these things with this. And all we have to do is hone in on that and just let the other people talk and just not let it bother us, okay? But like I was talking about, the sacrifices needed to succeed in this game are immense, okay? One thing I want to share with you right now is you will not get to where you want to be in your trading journey if you are not utilizing the weekends. You are not utilizing every day during the week to your advantage. Now, I know a lot of you are married with kids and family, and it can be a little tougher. But I promise you, if you look at your phone screen time, you see how much minutes per day you spend on Instagram or YouTube, et cetera, you can put that time into learning trading. You can put that time into backtesting. You can put that time into maybe watching YouTube videos or buying a mentorship program where you can learn and study from someone who is further along on the journey than you. But it is a lot better, more use of your time than sitting there on Instagram, sitting there on social media. Okay. So that's the one sacrifice that you're going to have to make. You have to sacrifice the weekends. This is what I did. This is what got me to where I wanted to be. You have to become obsessed. You literally have to become hyper focused on what you need to do. And that is anything involving trading. Okay. Anything that involves in trading progression. The next thing is I want you all to quit going out on the weekends. Quit going out on the weekends. Quit drinking with your friends. Quit doing all that stuff. You have to focus and think about it. This mind, we only have one mind. So what you put into it is ultimately going to reflect on how you do in the charts. The amount of times I've gone out on weekends before and then dreaded it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because I wasn't performing to my best. I had poor sleep on the weekend and I didn't, this was after I made it to where I wanted to be. I thought I could go out on the weekends. I thought I could go do these things. It just negatively affected my life. Okay. So the sacrifices that come with this pursuit are you have to live a different life than you are living currently. Okay. You will not get to where you want to be if you are constantly going out with your friends, going out and doing all this stuff. You have to give up old you in order to make room for new you. Okay. So once you overcome the doubt from other people, maybe you have doubt in your mind, you just keep moving forward. You sacrifice things that you used to, indulge in, right? Partying, maybe spending all night on Netflix, doing all these things. One of my best friends, Clark, he's learning to be a trader right now, and he is funded with FTMO. He's had multiple payouts. He started learning last July, I believe, and he recently had to wake up for London session because of his, job. He's in construction and it's just too hard for him to look at the charts during New York session, right? So he's waking up for London session. And one of the biggest things that I said to him that honestly changed his perspective is, what are you staying up for? Yes, you have to go to bed earlier to trade London session in the morning, but what are you staying up for? And for Clark, he was staying up watching Netflix. Okay. He was staying up watching Netflix. So as soon as I asked him that, what are you staying up for? It was very easy for him to go to bed early. And now he's trading London session and he's seeing great success. So that is a sacrifice that you need to make in order to get to where you want to be, right? You easily could not make that sacrifice, but short-term pain for long-term gain. Now let's talk about the reward, okay? We talked about the downside of the journey and how lonely it is, how people are going to bring us down, and how, people around us aren't going to support us, most likely. Maybe you are lucky there and you had someone support you. That's amazing. For me, it was my wife. She was the only one. Okay, my wife now, you guys can see your boy is married now. This is the first video I think I'm making since I've been married. But yeah, Julia believed in me from the very, very beginning. But other than that, it was just me. And that's how it's going to be. But the next thing is the reward. What comes with finding success in trading? Well, we already talked about earlier in the video, the time freedom, the location freedom, being your own boss. These are amazing benefits that come with being a trader. Now, of course, there's cons. Of course, there's going to be stress. There's going to be times where you're very, very stressed, right? But I promise you it gets easier. The stress you feel when you are learning how to trade, constantly losing, constantly getting your butt kicked, doesn't compare to the stress that you will experience as you get on. Yeah, there's always going to be new levels and new devils. There's always going to be things that kind of rub you the wrong way, and maybe you're stressed out for a day, but at least you know what you're doing and you've been broken down. I say to my students that, when you first start trading, you make a ton of mistakes. And then as the journey goes on, you make less and less and less and less mistakes. And this is just how it's going to be. You're constantly going to make mistakes, but they just won't be as frequent. The reward is you get to work for yourself. You get to do what you want. I know many people that travel the world and they just trade, and it's a beautiful thing. For me, being able to wake up every single day, so excited to do what I want to do what I like to do whatever I want to do is an amazing, amazing feeling, truly. Like I wake up every single day, guys, so happy. And I promise you it is worth it. I promise you it's worth it, because when you get to wake up, and it's your schedule, you get to wake up and do what you want to do. Each day just becomes so much more magical, and I'm grateful that I'm in the position now where when I do have a family, I'm going to be able to be there for them. I'm going to be able to be there for my kid, and, physically and mentally, and just be there for them. And that's an amazing thing that, trading brings. Trading allows us to do that. And I just think it's honestly the best career. I truly, truly do. And it's not made for everybody. There's going to be some of you out here who just don't have it, and that's okay. Doesn't mean you're not going to find success in something else. But if you truly want this bad enough, if you are sitting there right now and you're going, Mac, you beauty, yes, I want this bad enough, then please drop a comment down below saying, I want this bad enough. because not only will I know you made it to the end of the video, but I know you're seriously about it. Okay. This can be the most rewarding thing ever. You know, every win I have now, every payout that I get, every milestone that I achieve, I like to sit back and think about how Mack from years ago was getting beat down, was doubting himself, you know, was hearing people talk down on him and all this stuff. You get to reflect on it and just be super, super happy that you never gave up. Okay. I know some of your trading journeys are going to be different. Maybe you found profitability quick. Maybe it's taken you a couple years, but it's you versus you. Okay. It's you versus you, and you are going to get there on your own time. But I promise you, when you do get there, being able to look back and see how far you've come is just honestly a dream come true. And you're probably going to get emotional every single time because, like I've said in a video before I leave, not too long ago, you didn't know what a pip was. You didn't know how to read the chart. You didn't know what you were looking at. Now we're able to read price for the day. We're able to protect price maybe a week out, a month out. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button for your boy. It helps the algorithm. Really, really appreciate it. Drop some love in the comments. I read every single one. And subscribe if you're new. And what do I say at the end of every single video? Let's be 1% better every single day.